On Monday, June 28th, Lauren Cho walked into the California desert with no phone, no food, and no water. She simply disappeared. She has not been seen or heard from since. Her family and friends are desperate for help to find her. Hey everybody, welcome to True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. I'm Christy Brower, here with my sister, partner in crime, and co-host. I screwed it up. Hey Katie, how's it going?
Hello. I'm well.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm very glad to hear it. This is our Monday case. I'm going to admit we're going to be out of town over the weekend, so we're recording this early. So y'all have a case for Monday. But if we look a little beleaguered, it's because we've been preparing to be gone for a few days.
Yeah.
But this is
We've been working really hard.
Yes, we have. But this is a case we wanted to get out there as quickly as we could because there are several missing persons cases that are getting a lot of attention since the Gabby Petito case. And this is one of them that has come up that we feel like definitely needs a bit of a boost. And so we want to share it with you. I will admit we don't have very much information. So this is
but it needs a boost.
Yes. This is a cursory covering of the Lauren Cho case, or L. Cho, as she went by. And we will continue to update as we get more information, but we wanted to give you the basics so that you can keep this one on your radar as well.
And keep the pressure up,
Yes.
In the wake of Gabby's disappearance and the incredible way that the whole nation, jumped into action.
Yeah.
Lots of other families are asking for the same, and they deserve that too.
Right. Right. They do.
And that has happened to some degree. Last week we covered the Daniel Robinson case, and that case has gotten a ton of attention. Their petition was under 10,000 signatures when we covered that case. Now, and not because of us, but because of lots of people talking about it, that petition is well over 50,000. Lots of pressure on law enforcement there. And then, of course, there's the other case that broke today for the very same reason, with lots and lots of attention. Yeah. And this was, wow, I am just lacking in all names today. This was Jamari? Help me. Do you remember?
I was just looking too.
Jelani Day.
Yeah.
Jelani Day. And he also was a missing person that who went missing about the same time Gabby did, actually. And his family has been desperately begging for help. And his body has now been recovered as well. So there is a lot of action.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. And we're going to cover Jelani. We just wanted to wait and make sure, we knew that there was this potential identification pending, and we wanted to get that so that we can give you all the details. So that'll be another case that we get to this week.
Yeah.
But in the meantime,
there's momentum happening, and it's exciting.
There is. And it needs to keep happening. So keep it up, be sure that you share these cases, that you help to boost this, because somebody might know something,
Yes.
This is how these get solved a lot of the time. So let's tell you a little bit about Elle Cho.
Yes.
So Elle was living in California, and so she's from New Jersey, and she met a man named Corey Orrell, and in December of last year, she quit her job as a music teacher, and she and Corey went across the country in a travel bus and landed in California. And she was just looking for a different life. She was unhappy with the way that her life had turned out, and so they They settled in an artist commune called Bombay Beach. This is in California. It's in a place called the Inlet of the Salton Sea. And so they had been living there. She had purchased an old school bus so that she could turn it into a food truck because Elle's passion is cooking. Besides singing, she's actually a very gifted soprano and music teacher, but she really wanted to have her own food truck. And so that's what they've been doing. Then they ended up staying with a friend of Corey's where she had the opportunity to be a chef for this group of Airbnbs.
Nice.
So it was kind of like her dream was, being realized. And, this was, kind of the start of what was going to be awesome for her.
Yeah.
It sounded like her friends were really happy for her. She did a lot of cooking for them, and that her food was so good, and that, they were really excited that she was going to really, take off with this whole, cooking thing, which is the thing she really wanted to do. So on the 28th of June of this year, around 3:00 in the afternoon, her friend Cody Oral, who is her former partner, they were together when this whole traveling across the country thing happened. They, according to him, ended their relationship amicably and were still friends. And it appeared that they were still living in the travel bus together while they were working. And so what he says is that she appeared upset, but no one's really said why. That she walked out into the desert like she was just headed out to take a walk. She didn't take her phone. She didn't have anything else with her. And he kind of let her have her space. And he says that in about 10 minutes, when she didn't come back, he went looking for her and couldn't find her anywhere. So he reported that he called some of their friends to come and help him look. And they also did not find her. And so at 5:13 p.m. that day, they called the sheriff's office for help and reported her missing. And the sheriff's office did look for her by helicopter and on foot, starting from where they said she went missing.
Yeah.
And they didn't find anything.
No.
You know what they didn't find that I think is interesting? And this, I don't know. The concern I have is that there is one person giving all of the information about what happened prior to her going missing. There were no other witnesses.
No.
And I'm not accusing him of anything. I'm just saying we don't really know for sure what happened. The police have never been able to confirm any of this.
No. And this is one of the differences between this case and quite a few others that we've covered as of late. This family feels like they have had excellent rapport with law enforcement. They, in fact, on the family Facebook page that they have for Elle, they say that law enforcement has done an exceptional job. And so
they have looked and looked and looked and continue to look for her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. And so there is a nice difference there between that and a lot of our other cases.
Right.
But they really only have one person's account because that's just the only one that exists.
And that's a concern because they haven't been able to confirm anything. One of the things that I read in one of the articles that I read about this is that she was wearing Doc Martens and that she walked out into the desert wearing Doc Martens, supposedly. And y'all know, if you've worn Doc Martens, they have a very distinctive sole.
Yeah.
And when the sheriffs first came out looking for her, they found footprints from her friends looking for her. They did not find her footprints. So there's this implication that she may have gotten into a car with someone. We don't know who that someone would be. According to Corey, she had started dating. Since they had broken up, she had been dating a little bit
Mm-hmm.
and had been maybe to out with someone a time or two without saying who it was, considering, that they had been dating prior.
Yeah.
And that maybe she just got into a car with someone. Okay. And of course, this is just my own conjecture, but if she got into a car with someone and was
Mm-hmm.
just going to take off from this place, don't you think her family would have heard from her? No one has heard from her.
Right.
No use of her social media, no use of her money,
Yeah.
nothing. There's just nothing. She vanished literally into thin air.
Yeah.
If if the story that's being told is what actually happened, but we don't know.
Yeah.
They have searched by foot and by air all over in the whole area around where she went missing,
Yeah.
and they have found not a single thing.
No, they've also searched with dogs.
Yes. Oh, yes. They looked for with cadaver dogs. They searched this property where they were living in the travel bus and where she was
Mm-hmm.
working. Found nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people don't just disappear into thin air,
Yeah.
They have reclassified her case as a missing persons case and potentially as a voluntarily missing persons case. That maybe she did just walk away from her life.
I just don't think so.
I don't either. There's a lot of there's if you go looking for information, there's a lot of statements from her family, what a
Mm-hmm.
great aunt she was and what a loving person she is in her family. I don't, she had already taken a bus across the country from Maine to California,
Yeah.
but even in that time she was still in contact with her family.
Mm-hmm. Well, she was also an aunt, with a
Yeah.
little that she absolutely adored. It just does not resonate with me at all as someone who just
Mm-mm.
wandered away from their life on purpose.
No, it doesn't me either. She had plans for her
Mm-hmm.
life. A friend of hers had told the news that she had called him earlier in the day to ask for some help with the school bus that she was turning into a food truck.
Yeah.
Like she had plans. She had, intentions moving forward. There's one statement by a friend that she had some intent to harm herself.
Okay.
But we don't actually know if that's true.
Mhm.
Because again, we're getting all of this second and third hand information.
Yeah.
There is zero evidence whatsoever that
Right.
any
Of
of this
that.
even happened, for
Right.
one, and of where she might be. So this is a tremendously frustrating
Hmm.
case, I feel like, because there is nothing. The police have nothing.
No.
And maybe they have something we don't know about, of course, because that can happen, but
Well, yeah, there's always work going on behind the scenes.
there
But
is, but it does not appear as though, in all this time that they've been looking for her, there's not been any progress.
no,
Like they're not finding her.
no. And that's why her face needs to be blasted all over the media
Yes.
because somebody has seen something.
Yes. Somebody has
And
seen something, somebody knows something, even if you don't know, you know it. So I'm going to
mhm,
post a picture. I know there's a picture, if you're watching this as a video, there is an intro, but here is another picture. This is Cho or Elle Cho. Um, just beautiful, beautiful girl.
yeah,
But don't forget her because she cannot just vanish into thin air. Something has happened to her,
yep,
and
absolutely. And
her family is
particularly,
desperate.
yeah, and particularly in the California area, her picture needs to be everywhere, everywhere,
Yeah.
because someone has seen something. Somebody
Yeah.
knows something. Now it's just that process of finding those people and connecting them to the right people to speak up.
Right.
That's all it. You think about in Gabby's case, right?
Mm-hmm.
If that girl who found in her stuff the videos of Gabby's van hadn't
Yeah.
shared those with authorities, they may not have found her body. It definitely wouldn't have found it as quick as they did. But because social media came together and everybody put their heads together, here's what we have. Well, that's very much possible in every single one of these cases,
It
right?
is. It absolutely is.
Yeah,
So remember this face.
yeah.
Think about where were you around the 28th of June. So this is in California. She was working, so they had stayed in Bombay Beach, and then she was working as a chef for a group of Airbnbs that were between the Yucca and Moronga valleys. So this is just outside Joshua Tree National Park in California. So this is the area. So if you were in that area, around that
Mm-hmm.
time, around the end of June, please go check your pictures and your video.
Mm-hmm.
Did you pick something up? You know?
Or did you by chance see something a little weird that caught your attention and then you dismissed it?
Right.
Everything matters right now. Everything matters.
It does. It does because did she get into a car with
Right.
someone that she only sort of knew? But if that happened, why didn't she take her phone? Like
Yeah.
if you're going to call somebody you're newly dating, why doesn't she have her phone?
Right.
And if she was just going to walk out into the desert to harm herself, the cadaver dogs and the helicopters would have found her, and they didn't.
Right. Well, and frankly, he probably would have found her. She wasn't out there very long before he walked out to check on her.
Right.
That none of that tracks.
No, none of it tracks. None of it tracks at all.
Yeah. Well, and much, much love to her family. They are
Yes.
doing everything they can and working with the authorities and have, put on a really organized and united front in
Mm-hmm.
working on her behalf, which I think has been really wise. There's been a real lack of knee jerk responses and emotion. There's been, I guess I want to say it's been a very mature approach to trying to help move the process along. And I
Yeah,
think that they should be commended for the way they've handled this.
for sure. For sure. And we have to thank law enforcement for all the work that they have done to find her because they
Absolutely.
have done a lot. They
Yeah.
have also re committed to their search for her. That the hard part for them right now is that they have nothing to go on. Nothing.
Yeah.
And they have looked everywhere that they can think of
Mhm.
and they're not finding anything. But they have said that they're going to kind of get involved with a new task force and get some more things going looking for her.
Mhm.
They have called in their specialized investigation division. This is for the
Yeah.
sheriff's department.
Mhm.
And, they're looking at this case a little bit differently because of the Gabby Petito case.
Mhm.
That maybe what they thought was a missing persons case could potentially be a suspicious situation, because it one of the good things that the Gabby Petito case has done is that it has brought people's attention back to
Yeah.
the potential for domestic violence, and that just because something appears like somebody just wandered away doesn't necessarily mean they did.
Exactly.
So there is renewed energy behind El Cho's case, but we wanted to help support them.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
I wanted to just share a comment that her family made on her page. So her Facebook page is Missing Person Lauren L. Cho, Lel.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 hours ago, her family posted, "These past several days have been very intense to say the least. We are grateful for the attention that Elle's case is receiving and would like to note a few things. The involvement of the Specialized Investigations Division is not in direct response to the recent media attention on Elle. Detective Hernandez, in particular, has been a part of this story for some time now, and the continued professionalism and compassion of the detectives working Elle's case is how we have remained confident that the work continues to get done. We see your questions, we have some answers, but even more questions of our own in response. However, we would like to be clear that this page is not a place where we encourage speculations. Uh, this page will continue to be a space where the Cho family can provide confirmed updates and hold Elle in a positive light. And thank you to all who are working diligently to get Elle's name and face out across various platforms. As an elder millennial who struggled to make a TikTok and ultimately didn't, so don't go looking, to see my sister's name everywhere I turn has been encouraging.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad. Well, we're trying to do our part as well. So
Yeah.
keep your eyes out. If you were in that area at that time, be sure that you check all your media.
And even if you weren't, if you saw someone that even makes you think at all that it could have been Elle, say something.
Yes, definitely. I think that's the important thing. It's okay. It's even okay to be wrong.
Right.
But if you think maybe you know something, do not be afraid to share that, because the police will run it down, because every tip matters.
Yep. And you guys are probably getting used to this shtick, but per always, with brand new active cases, we do not read them publicly. We won't read this one because that does not that violates our own ethical standards. And unfortunately, you see a lot of people doing readings on these brand new cases that the police are deep into, and it gets gross and it muddies the water, and all of the speculation can be incredibly damaging to the family, and we are not going to be a part of that. And so we won't read this case that way, because that's just not what we're going to do. But we will continue to keep an eye on it. We'll bring you guys any updates that come from it. We're hoping, as much as everyone else does, that something positive comes from all of the attention this case is getting, and they get some answers.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, this is our Monday case. We will be back Tuesday and Wednesday with more new cases. And then, of course, our live streams on Wednesday night and Thursday night. So stay tuned, stay connected. Please like, subscribe, and share. Yeah. And as always, thanks for being here. We are True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. Have a great day.
Take care.